every week. Stivers, Ford, Lincoln, Downright, proud to salute some just amazing organizations, some incredible organizations. And Jackie, we're familiar with the one we're talking about today.
You've been involved quite a bit because there's a barbecue involved, so we know we get excited. But Cops Against Cancer, you couldn't think of a better event or program going on here locally.
No question about it. Craig Finney joining us as well as Jennifer.
Good morning, guys.
Good to see you from John Stoddard Cancer Center. And the program you have over at John Stoddard, absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you very much.
And you have done some things that people didn't think were possible.
Yeah, it's saving lives all the time, which is good. And I've worked with Craig in the past, and we kind of collaborate with Cops Against Cancer on this survivorship retreat that we're having on April 9th. And it's just such a neat event for everyone. And so we're really encouraging people to come and wanted to talk about that today.
So, Craig, why don't we first tell everybody about Cops Against Cancer for those that are unfamiliar with it?
I'm a cancer survivor. Matter of fact, this month is my 7th year birthday. 7 years ago this month, I was diagnosed with colorectal cancer, and I heard the most frightening 3-word statement in the English language: we found cancer. During that time period, the 26 weeks that I was in and out of the hospital, a couple different surgeries, complications along the way, my wife and I, we started seeing other problems cancer families were going through, and we thought, this is our opportunity to pay forward. And it was an easy decision for us to make. Of the whole law enforcement background of my wife and I both of protecting and serving and just taking that a step forward. So we decided to go ahead and form our 501c3 Cops Against Cancer, where we were helping cancer families not only financially but emotionally, mentally. We provide resources to them that insurance doesn't pay for.
Resources such as?
Colorectal cancer patients might be on a feeding tube. So their form of nutrition is Ensure liquid supplement. That's not covered by insurance, but it's a day-to-day expense. I was on an ostomy pouch, and because of my insurance, I was only limited so many pouches a month. Well, in one day, I went through 4 pouches, and we had to go out and make an out-of-pocket purchase for something for me to function on daily. So that's where our organization comes into play, is that we help out families that way. But then also too, I had a little woman come into my room one day, and she said, we started talking, and an hour and a half into our conversation, I said, "Are you my nurse for today?" She said, "No, I'm with the advocacy program, patient navigator program through John Stoddard Cancer." I said, "So tell me about this." So she started telling me about the program, and I said, "Stop right there. I've been a cop for 30 years. I don't need this huggy-feely." And then she pulled my heartstrings by saying, "If you don't do it for yourself, do it for your wife." I was like, okay. And I'm a product of what Jenny does every day. Wow. And it's giving families, when they hear those words, "You have cancer," it hits you in the gut, and it brings you down to your knees, and the strongest person falls weak. And with their program, what they do to build up the support of a patient and a family, because it's not only the cancer survivor, it's the family, because my wife was going through a completely different journey than what I was going through. And we're starting to see that with our organization, and we've expanded on that. And that's the whole purpose of this retreat, that there is, if my wife and I can be an example for other cancer patients, that there is a positive life out there, then let us be that example and help move families forward.
So let's talk about the retreat that's coming up. Give us some details of what it's all about.
Well, it's really kind of a day of inspiration, hope. There's also educational piece. So we have different speakers that come, and I will be there along with some other oncology certified nurses. And then we also have Craig and his wife will talk and share their story again with the people that are there. And it's just a day really of inspiration and hope and finding life after cancer. And I don't know if you want to add more to that.
Because what we're seeing is when a family's been diagnosed, and even if it's years after they've had their final treatment, they're still moving forward. There's still been no one as a cheerleader that's taking care of the emotional and the mental side of a cancer patient. And that's what we're here for that weekend. We call it a retreat because if you look up what the word retreat is, it's a disengagement, meaning it's a day that they're not doing treatments. It's a day they're not going through radiology. It's a day they're not doing chemo. It's a day that they're not talking to doctors about what if. And that's why we call it a retreat. So it's motivation, inspiration to take them to that next level.
Craig, what was the one thing you said when that person came into your room and talked to you for an hour and a half? What was the one thing that really sunk home that they were saying that you said, this is special?
Because what you're going through, that was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It's 35 years as a cop. You know, the calls and that stuff was never anything like what I heard, that you have cancer, and not having any cancer history in my family. I was lost, and I was weak, and I started feeling vulnerable. And then Jenny's office came in and said, we can start building you up. You have to fight. And that was the thing. And I share my story, and you know, people say, well, 35 years as a cop, 24 years in the military, it must have been easy for you. It wasn't. But what got me through that fight was something that everybody has: perseverance, appreciation, fortitude, and that desire that I want to get up tomorrow morning and get the most out of each day.
So, Jenny, hope is the word
Oh my gosh.
that comes to mind.
Yes, yes.
So how can people be a part of this retreat? Is there still an opportunity for people, if they're hearing this right now, to be a part of this special day?
Definitely. So they can go to Cops Against Cancer website, and then there's also a phone number. I don't know if that'll be posted.
Yeah, we'll put it up on the screen here, but you have about a week and a couple of more days, a week and a couple of more days to get signed up for it. There is a registration deadline for this.
Okay.
Yes.
It is on April the 4th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and look at the price. Look all the way to the left.
Completely free.
Absolutely free. Now, it starts early in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, and goes to 3:30 in the afternoon, but it is free. But you do need, that's key, you do need to get signed up by Monday, April the 4th.
And we want the public to know that no funds from our CARES program is being used for this retreat. I've written separate grants for this weekend, and we've gotten sponsorship. John Stoddard Cancer Center is helping us out by providing us with their conference center. Des Moines Police Benevolent Association has helped us out with the
Great
donation.
organization.
Gentech Cancer Research out in California, they don't even know us, but because of the retreat, they're helping us out. So it's a financial free weekend for anyone that's in attendance. We'll take care of breakfast, we'll take care of lunch for them. We got a great panel of speakers that are going to be there that day, and everyone is going to walk away from the retreat with something positive.
Oh, that is great. Okay, you mentioned food, so
Right.
Since you mentioned food, we talk about you, we talk about Cops Against Cancer. We have
We're
to
coming
talk,
up, buddy.
we tell everybody what we're talking about.
The 5-0 Barbecue Classic.
That's exactly
The
right.
classiest barbecue event in the Des Moines metro area.
And we're going to be part of it again?
We're hoping you too. We just talked about it here a little bit ago. We're hoping that you decide to MC for us.
Yep,
You've helped
I'm
us out.
gonna-
But
You'll
we
be
want to
able
mark
to.
it in the calendar now. So
June 4th.
when's the date?
June the 4th. Okay, so
Out at the
we'll circle
FFA
that.
Enrichment Center out at the DMAC campus. It's a
Which is a
beautiful
great
event.
place to have it, too,
And
by the way.
we're hoping this year to be bigger than we've been in years past. We have to be, because right now our organization has reached the point that we've raised just over $175,000.
That's great.
We have over 500 clients in a 78 county area here in Iowa. We're branched out into 8 other states outside of Iowa. Dr. Page, who was on the show earlier this month, his message resonates to me every day. When we first started talking about this organization, you know how big this is going to be? We thought, okay, we're going to help out 25 people. Jenny's an example. We get a lot of referrals from John Stoddard, and we're over 500 clients. So we're not
Amazing.
a mom and pop organization anymore.
Not anymore, no. Cancer Survivorship Conference. It is coming up in just a couple of weeks. You do need to get signed up by a Monday, April the 4th, so please get signed up, and it doesn't cost you anything. Everything's taken care of, Jackie.
There you go. Thank you guys
We
so
can't
much.
say enough.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
guys
Yeah,
very much
thank
for
you.
support.
Yes.
Thank you, pal.
Appreciate it.